What's up, royal family? It's your girl Jane of Thrones. I'm gonna give you today my top binge-worthy picks of Hulu shows that I have watched, and I'm gonna jump right into the video. Number one is High Fidelity. High Fidelity is a show that I found out about like last year, I think. And it stars my baby girl, Zoe Kravitz, who is Lenny Kravitz's daughter. If you didn't know that, Lenny Kravitz and Lisa Bonet's daughter. Lisa Bonet she played Denise on The Cosby Show. But so anyway, this series happens to be an adaptation of a movie that came out in 2000 of the same name, except it was starring John Cusack in the starring role. And so they revamped it a little bit, and now they have cast a female in the role. So anyways, and it's a series. So Zoe Kravitz, she plays Rob, and Rob is a music store owner. She's a Brooklynite. She lives in Brooklyn, and she is basically revisiting her relationship past because she is trying to make sense and analyze her current heartbreak and why she has such shitty luck in the love department. And so she's using music, she's using her crazy ass friends to help her to get through this and to help her to like figure out where did she go wrong, what happened with this, what happened with that, and maybe that will help her to make sense and figure out what is going wrong in her life currently. It's a really good show. It is very current, you know what I'm saying? It's very today, it's very now. Zoe Kravitz is an amazing actress. It's funny as hell. I really recommend this. I really recommend you check it out and give it a try. It is 2 seasons in, so you don't have much to catch up on that one. Next, I have Good Girls. Good Girls, this is my second time mentioning Good Girls. I mentioned it in my Netflix binge-worthy shows. If you haven't seen that video, go ahead and check that out. But I'm gonna say it again because it's on Hulu and it's on Netflix. So you got 2 chances to watch this show. So why wouldn't you watch it? I mean, just watch the show. Watch the show. It's on Hulu and it's on Netflix. Good Girls, like I said, is starring the redhead, voluptuous secretary that played on Mad Men. I don't remember her. Christina Hicks or Christina Hendricks or Christina Hicks, something like that. I don't know her real name, but she stars on a show, and it's basically about 3 suburban moms, and they are just sick of getting the shitty end of the stick. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're sick of living paycheck to paycheck, and so they decide to plan this heist, and they decide to rob this supermarket that one of the girls works at. And it's just like crazy because they end up getting so mixed up and so in over their head, a tangled web that they weave for themselves. Like, they end up basically being under the thumb of some cartel drug boss, and he is like using leverage of the fact that he found out what they did to get them to do all kind of crazy stuff. So yeah, check that one out. That one is 3 seasons in. I recommend it. It's lighthearted, it's funny, it's relatable. Okay, the next one I have, this is an oldie but goodie. If you have not seen this, like, I don't know what you're doing with your life. I don't know how old you are. It doesn't even matter. I don't care if you're 85. I don't care if you're 55. I don't care if you're 35. I don't care if you're 25. I don't care if you're 15. Okay? I really wanted to rewatch it because it's been like so long since I watched it, and I was like, you know, you mature and you see things differently, and you're able to get more out of things when you're older. Beverly Hills 90210, not to be confused with the remake or reboot of that's just named 90210 that they came out with like a few years back. No, that was trash. Okay, I'm talking about Beverly Hills 90210. This is basically about a Midwestern family that came from Minneapolis, Minnesota, and moved their kids. They have twins, a boy and a girl, and they're high school age, and they moved their family to Hollywood, California, and it's basically following how they have to then like acclimate themselves and basically assimilate to that Hollywood, like glamorous, like superficial, vapid and shallow like mindset, and they have to like really balance it to be able to like fit in but also maintain and preserve like some of their integrity. And so they're twins, they're brother and sister, and so they're able to like lean on each other and be there for each other. Now this series ran for 10 seasons. This series ran for 10 seasons, so that tells you right there how good it was. But I recommend season 1 through 4. Shannon Doherty, that's my girl. She left after season 4 for whatever was going on behind the scenes. I really don't know, and I really don't care. But those were like the best seasons. So if you really, can't commit to doing 10 seasons, just watch season 1 through 4. You know what I'm saying? It's a good show. It's really a good ass show. It's like a cult classic at this point. That brings us right into this next show that I'm gonna tell you about, because it's similar. Like I told you in my Netflix video, I really love those high school centered, like coming of age shows, as is 90210, Beverly Hills 90210, and as is this next one, which is so dear to my heart. I can't even describe it to you. One Tree Hill. One Tree Hill, like, if you have not watched One Tree Hill, I don't know what to tell you. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's crazy because when I first watched One Tree Hill, I was pregnant, so maybe like it had more of an impact on me, or a significant impact on me, and I was so emotional like watching it. But I will watch One Tree Hill at any time. Like anytime I'm feeling upset or like emotional, it is just so good. Let me stop running my mouth and tell you what it's about though. It's about two brothers who share the same father. They're stepbrothers, okay? But they come from like different opposite sides of the track, basically. One of them is like super popular. He's like a jock. He plays basketball. The other one, you know what I'm saying? He lives with his mother. And he's more of like a quiet, like reserved, like broody type, like, you know what I'm saying? He's not really like in your face like that. So, and he's poor. Like he's not poor. He's not poor, but the other brother, they got money or whatever. So, he has his little best friend and his little crew that he hangs with, on the river court. And then he ends up wanting to play basketball for the high school. And that's when their worlds collide. And I just want to tell you that the gem of a love story that is set inside of this series is just like it's something I've never seen before. I mean, you really, if you don't feel this love story and the love triangle, okay, of course there's always a love triangle, Dawson's Creek, 90210, yes, there's a love triangle, but the love story, okay, and the quotes and the voiceover narrations is just so deep, and the art, it's like, oh my God, like this show changed my life, to be honest with you. Watch One Tree Hill. It ran for 9 seasons, okay? I am only going to recommend to you season 1 through 6, okay? I cannot vouch for anything past season 6, so don't even ask me. I don't know. I don't care, because and you'll see, if you watch it, you'll know what I'm talking about when you get to season 7, okay? All right? But 1 through 6, that's some good ass TV, okay? And if you can't make it to 1 through 6, do 1 through 4. By the time you get through 1 through 4, you're going to have to watch. You're not going to be able to help yourself but to keep watching, okay? Watch One Tree Hill. That shit will really like leave a mark or an impression on you. Number 5. Don't trust the bee in apartment 23. Okay? This is only 2 seasons. I don't know why. My sister put me onto this show. And it's one of those little like funny ass, like quirky shows that is only like 30 minutes per episode, so you really, it'll take you no time to get through 2 seasons. I really wish that the show would have kept going, but for some reason, I don't know, it didn't get renewed, but I don't know why. But it's basically about this Midwestern naive chick that she has like these big city life, big city dreams, and she moves to New York City, and literally like her first week in New York, all her dreams are like pretty much dashed. And she ended up like living with like this roommate who becomes her like entire worst nightmare manifested. So yeah, there's that. And then there's James Vanderbeek, who is from Dawson's Creek, who is in this, and I think he's like the best friend of the roommate or something like that. This shit is funny. You know what I'm saying? It's lighthearted as hell. It's like, watch a couple episodes if you think I'm capping. Like, check it out for yourself. You gonna want to watch it. Little fires everywhere. Little fires everywhere. I don't know how I happened to watch this show, but it is a mini series, okay? And it stars Reese Witherspoon and Kerry Washington. All right. All I can say is it's set in the 90s. Let's start there. Because you know the 90s was lit, okay? If you was a teenager in the 90s, if you was born in the 90s, whatever, you know what I'm saying, relationship you have to the 90s, you know that the 90s was lit, okay? It's set in the 90s, and it's basically following the intertwined lives of this rich, affluent, white family, okay, who end up renting a property that they own, a house that they own, to Kerry Washington and her daughter. The kids become friends, okay? They start hanging out, and somehow like secrets start to become revealed, and they start to like figure out how they are connected in this weird, like enigmatic, crazy way. And I mean, this miniseries touches on racial tensions, racial attitudes are exposed, like the passion and the power and the perplexity behind motherhood. It is very evident and very prevalent in this series. And it's set like the kids are in high school, so it is another one of the coming of age shows, but it also has really, really important themes weaved into it. And I really think that everybody should check this out, because it just shows different perspectives and how people with different backgrounds look at things and how they perceive things and why. Like, what is the reasoning behind that? What is their backstory, or why do they think this way and operate this way? So it really helps to make sense of those things. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times it's easier for us to just sit back and judge people like, oh, why you say that? Why you think like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's bullshit. But, you know, there's always a backstory. So I recommend that. I'm gonna leave that right there. It's one season. You could do it. It's worth it. Okay, the next one is The Handmaid's Tale. Okay. Again, my sister put me onto this. The Handmaid's Tale stars Maggie, I believe her name was. She also played on Mad Men. She was like the main secretary of Don Draper. It's basically in this futuristic, not futuristic, but it's in the future. And it's basically like some type of, I don't want to say Armageddon, but there has been some type of war or civil war that has broken out in what we would look at as the United States or whatever, but it's called something else. But anyways, they have captured all of the people, all of the women who are fertile and can have kids, because I guess something happened with humanity to where having a child became like a rarity. Like, people were starting to become sterile for some reason, or infertile, something like that. And so if you had working embryos and eggs and stuff like that, like you are basically like gold, you know what I'm saying? So you're lit. So you're a slave. Basically, like, they are enslaving you and then forcing you to have sex with these commanders who have wives already, but their wives can't bear children. So they have these women, they bring them into their bed, and like the shit got crazy, because like their ceremony of how they like have sex or try to get these women impregnated, these handmaids, is that the wife lays on the bed and like basically is holding the handmaid down in between her legs while the commander is like fucking her. I can't make this up. It is crazy. Like, you need to watch The Handmaid's Tale. I am telling you, it is so good. And it's scary because that shit could really happen. Like, these shows sometimes it's like life imitating art or art imitating life. It's like because you can tell like something like this is not too far removed. You know what I'm saying? Like, the way that things, didn't they just like start trying to tell people whether they could have like abortions and stuff in certain states? Like that type of power and control and craziness is like, you let stuff like that fly, and the next thing you know, you turn around and you goddamn a slave again. You know what I'm saying? Very, very, very slippery slope, okay? And the last one, and this is something that I literally just started watching like 2 days ago, and I'm already like halfway through season 1, but I recommend this. It's called Good Trouble, okay? Good Trouble is about 2 sisters, okay? They were adopted, and their mothers are lesbians, but they were both adopted. One of them is Hispanic, one of them is white, and they graduated from college and everything, and they decide they're moving to LA, and they already got jobs in their field. One of them is in law. She's trying to be a lawyer, but she hasn't passed her bar yet, and the other one is like a techie. You know what I'm saying? She does like she programs like you know, that technical stuff, tech geek or whatever. But you know, they have all of these big city dreams and everything, and they get out there and they're staying in this like communal like apartment where they like share a kitchen and bathroom and stuff like that, and they really just get there. You know, when you still have hope in life, like when you're in high school and you're like, oh, I'm gonna be this big, and then you get to college and you're like, oh, I'm living my life, I'm living my dreams, and then you finally get, I don't know how old y'all are, but if you're, you know what I'm saying, if you've been through this, you can relate, but you finally get to that first job, that first real like career job, and you realize like, oh fuck, I'm fucked. Like, this is not my life. This can't be my life. Like, your boss is an ass wife. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got dickhead co-workers, and you're like literally like, is this what my life is gonna be like day in, day out? And then so one of them got this little fling with dude at the communal apartment and stuff like that, and it's like some craziness that happens with him. I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but just go ahead and watch that. Start watching that. It's 2 seasons in. I'm not even finished with all 2 seasons, but let me tell you something, we can finish it together. That pretty much wraps up my entire list of my top picks for Hulu binge-worthy TV shows. And if you watch any of these and they resonate with you, drop me a line in the comments. I will see you in the next video.